We are live.
Ah.
Where you go, Warren? Hit it.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Hey, this is Warren Connolly here, coming to you from Hungary in Central Europe. And my co-host and co-presenter is...
Paul Bursey from Whittam in Essex in the UK.
Mm-hmm. Indeed it is. Indeed you are. So today we're going to be talking about eyesight and how it's possible to improve upon our eyesight naturally. Okay, Paul and I, if anybody knows our work, we advocate natural therapies or natural interventions or natural procedures and actions that we can take in our daily life that will enable us to improve our lifestyles.
Hang on a minute. I'm cured.
You're cured.
Oh, hang on, I can't see you. Hang on, sorry. All right, sorry.
So hence the subject of today, how to improve our eyesight naturally. And please, Paul, take it away and enlighten us.
Well, I mean, look, obviously, the way I see it is that we can't correct our vision without professional help. Now, the professional help can come in many, many different fashions. It can be an ophthalmologist, eye professional, as I like to call them.
That's a big word, ophthalmologist. Yeah.
I know, I nearly got it wrong as well. So I had to sit here for an hour practicing it, and even then I nearly got it wrong. Anyway, so look, there's no quick and easy fixes when it comes to eyesight problems. The big challenge is that we take our eyes for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we've all done it, either all the time or some of the time. And the classic example is when you're on the beach. Okay, but I'll come to that. But if we've got the right tools, such as great nutrition and diet, you can still help your eyesight naturally. And basically, most of the time you're on your own. And that's why you've got to know it. And if it's safe, if you're in any doubt whatsoever, always speak to someone who knows what they're talking about. Whether it's an eye professional or someone in the nutrition field or a doctor. I prefer experts myself. I don't know how you feel about that, Warren.
Yeah, well, you mean I think with regards to things like eyesight, it is important to go see. It's the same with your teeth, right? You're not going to sit at home and try to extract a tooth if you know you've got a tooth needs to come out. You want to go see a professional about it, and it's the same with anything relating to our health. We want to see a professional first, and then if we can do something on our own, which the professional advises, then you do it.
Absolutely. So here's a starting point. This isn't. Well, I suppose it could come under natural. Will eye exercises save my sight? Now, many eye exercises are suggested to naturally improve your eyesight and overcome things like nearsightedness. Okay. There's something called palming. I didn't have time to really go into it, but yeah, whatever it is, yeah, palming, movement, and visualization techniques. They, to reshape the eyeballs and improve vision.
Okay.
I don't know about those. Again, others suggest massage and acupressure as ways to relieve eye strain and eye problems. I've never personally ever gone down that route at all, but
I do sometimes. Okay. And that's because what I do is I feel around the bridge of my brow in the inside here, and then around my temple section and at the top of my cheekbones, and I add pressure. So I just push and I gently massage, and then I massage outwards. And I push, and if you push deep enough into certain parts around the brow of your eye and underneath, you'll find that there's pressure points there, and that's acupressure. So you just want to apply some pressure to those pressure points, and that helps to alleviate tension around the eye and things and so forth. Yeah.
I would say if it works for you, do it. And that's the same for everyone. I mean, I don't do those things probably because I didn't know about them. Because I'll try anything once. So
yeah, why not? It's worthwhile trying something, right?
Absolutely.
It's not going to kill you or do damage to you. So yeah, go for it.
Now, there are those that say However, none of these exercises are verified and have been and have little more than some anecdotal or placebo results.
Mm-hmm.
So try it yourself. That's the easiest way. That's what I always say. Well, vision therapy. Have you heard of that?
I have heard of vision therapy, but I can't allude to what in depth about what it is. So, but I mean, I know about vision therapy. Yeah. The term.
I'm now going to stretch the English language again and say
Ooh.
vision therapy is a serious area of optometry. So, and it addresses the problems with alignment, tracking, and strain. So it sounds like it's very good. There is no evidence that vision exercises can affect clarity. Okay. So again, it's going to be down to personal choice, you know. So let's talk about some healthy tips to help protect your eyes. Now, your eyes are among the most important organs that you have. They're all important, trust me. But your eyes are, because if you think, you know, and I've done this before, if you were to close your eyes and not keep them shut for about 10 minutes,
mm-hmm.
How would you feel? How would you feel if you couldn't see anymore? And there's many thousands, I don't know, millions of people around the world. I don't really know how many, but there's lots of people who can't see. So we owe it to them, as well as ourselves and our family, to make sure that our eyes work as best that we can. You know,
just try that. I've done that before myself. Yeah, I've when I was younger, I used to do that quite frequently. Actually, just walk around for 5-10 minutes with my eyes closed.
Yeah,
and just to gain an experience as to what.
And it's not good. It's not good.
No, it's not fun. No, it's not.
Now we know that blind people have got tremendous smell. They've got tremendous, you know, lots of attributes that get better because they can't see. But I don't want to try it out.
There's actually a gentleman from Germany, if I remember correctly. He uses echo sound, so he clicks. So he's blind. He was born with a degenerative disease, and so when he walks around, he walks with his cane, and then he clicks, and then by clicking, he's got it down to such a fine art. His other senses are so heightened, and his brain is actually adapted to it, that he can feel the vibrations coming back from the objects around him. So he has spatial awareness and everything like that based on these clicks so he can actually describe to you. He can stand in an area and describe to you what's around him. I've seen him in a documentary before. Quite phenomenal.
Yeah,
so
sounds great.
Much like a bat.
Yeah, I know a lot of you humans are a bit batty. Yeah, but no, that sounds fantastic. Look, your eyes. Think about things here. We take things for granted, you know, our eyesight and things like that. But think about what you can see. You know, maybe you've just had a new baby. You know, maybe you're in the Alps. You can see the fantastic scenery. You can see shapes. You can see colours. You can see depth. You know, so there's lots of. I have gratitude that I'm still breathing, let alone have two eyes. I mean, that goes on with it as well. But so as you get older, you do tend to think about things more. You know,
True.
When we're young, we think we're indestructible, and we probably do all the things that we shouldn't be doing.
But we were when we were younger, weren't we?
Yeah. The thing is a bit like your life. You know, your eyes. You may only get one chance with something. Some people are lucky; they do the wrong things and get away with it. Other people, not so lucky, you know. And but the thing is with your eyes, one of the biggest things they do is manage the light signals. Now, where would that come into being? And that would be when you're sleeping. A classic example, you know. And I like a dark room when I'm sleeping. Okay. It's not so that I don't wake up, you know, and have loads of hours in bed. It just means the hours that I have are quality hours.
Yeah.
So having a pitch black room is brilliant, and because your eyes, You get one little glint of light and your eyes will pick up on it, even though you're asleep.
Yeah.
All right. So, sorry,
Sometimes-
what are you going to say?
No. I was just saying, plus your eyes need the rest as well, just like any other part of your body. It needs rest. Those muscles need to be able to rest and regenerate at nighttime while you're sleeping. So if you have light stimulation going on around you, you may think you're sleeping properly, but you're not. Because, as you say, your eyes, even through your eyelids are not thick. Your eyelids are very thin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So your eyes will pick up on that very quickly.
Yeah. And the other thing about your eyes is it keeps your body's internal clock running properly. Right. So again, it's not as important as being able to see the Alps or your baby, but it's very, very important for your body to know, what time of day it is, and your eyes help towards that. But the eyes are vulnerable. This is the thing that people don't give enough credence to, and you need protection, because we all want to maintain and improve our eyesight as much as we can.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about people? Do you feel people take it seriously enough?
In general, no, I don't think so. I don't think it's because, again, it all boils down to education, doesn't it? Awareness and education. This is not something that people. I used to be a bodyboarder, so like a surfer, yeah, and quite a few of my mates that I used to surf with, they used to suffer with cataracts in the eyes and stuff like that, and from a young age. These are like when you get that film, you get the film build up over the eye, and because of the glare from the sea. The seawater and the sun and that reflecting off the seawater, and it can damage your eyes. So that's just surfing, and that can happen to people from a very young age. Then you get people that are outside a lot, and they're wearing the wrong sunglasses, for example. They don't wear quality sunglasses; they wear cheap sunglasses, and that actually does more damage to your eyes than any good whatsoever.
Yeah.
So it's education and knowledge. I think most people they're not aware.
And awareness as well. But definitely. So, okay. So we should know, if you're going to go and work on a building site and you're going to use an angle grinder, where the sparks are flying off, you need eye protection.
Yeah.
You need eye protection maybe if you're doing landscaping, if you're cutting a hedge, or if you're working on a lathe when you're doing woodworking, or some kind of drill. You should always protect your eyesight. And I personally, I would say that's common sense. But I think back to when I first started, my first week of digging holes or knocking down a fire station for the council.
Okay.
And we were told nothing, not a thing. And as a 16-year-old, you don't care. So it is something that we should care about when we're working, because anything can happen,
Of course.
So think about that.
You look at. Do you know Mark Boucher? Do you know who Mark Boucher is?
No.
So he was a cricketer. He's now a coach for South African cricket team, and he was a cricketer for many years for South Africa. And he played behind the wickets. So he was a wicket keeper. So he was the guy that was always, if anybody knows cricket, if you don't know cricket, he's the guy that's standing behind the three little stumps that are standing on the ground, and he's ready to catch the ball. And he was playing in a game, and the bail of the wicket got kicked back and hit him in the eye, and he's now blind in one eye as a result of that. And they almost always wear sunglasses. And I don't think, sometimes they even, depending on the bowler, I think sometimes they wear a helmet as well.
Do they wear some kind of visor now?
Yeah, well, not all the time, but sometimes, depending on who the bowler is. If it's a fast bowler, then they will wear like a visor. Very often. And then but it was just a freak accident. It was a freak accident, absolutely freak accident.
Yeah.
And he's now blind in one eye. So your eyes, as you say, Paul, your eyes are so sensitive. And there's actually evidence of an additional film underneath in our eyes that we used to use for our eyes, kind of like a camel or a shark. They have an additional film, like a visor type of thing that comes through over the eyes to protect our eyes. And this is a part of the evolutionary cycle. We used to have that, and there's still evidence of that in our eyes today. So it's because our eyes needed more protection when we didn't have sunglasses.
So anyway, there are other ways to protect your eyes and keep them healthy every day. And obviously, the first one that comes to, you've already mentioned it, is protecting your eyes from the sun. I mean, like all sources of energy, the sun's powerful and it provides critical life, and support. And it can also cause some serious harm. So what you mentioned, quality sunglasses, and I think that's very, very important. But UV radiation carries much of the danger posed by sunlight. So, and what would that cause? What would happen if you let the sun get on your eyes?
It could actually burn your retina.
Yeah. Absolutely. And
once that's done, that's done. There's no coming back from that.
There's no coming back. Yeah, that's right. So it can happen. I say long term. Well, it's not going to happen immediately, probably. It's something you will do continuously, and it will get a bit worse every time. So all of a sudden, that's what happens when you're left unprotected. So, and I remember a film called Clear and Present Danger.
Oh yes, okay.
And the sun's UV rays are that clear and present danger. So they are, and I think you have to treat it as such. So if you've got kiddies and that, you've got to be telling them from very, very early age, what they can do and what they can't do as far as the sun is concerned.
Another thing we used to do in the 80s, but that was people stopped doing it because the ointment was high in zinc. Was that we used to put that white cream, white zinc cream underneath our eyes because that reflects the sun.
Yeah.
So the sun, any sun that if you're looking in the sun, it deflects off our eyes from there.
So what's that called? Sunblock. Is that sunblock?
Yeah, it was a specific kind of. It wasn't just any kind of sunblock, but it was high end. It was a white thick cream that sunblock that we used to put underneath our eyes. It used to come in a little tub, but then it was discovered that they were high in zinc, so that's not particularly good for you to put zinc on your skin like that. So people stopped doing that, but cricketers do it as well. Cricketers, they put it again. I'll go back to cricketers because they're looking in the sun a lot. They're standing in the sun all day, very often if they're playing 5-day cricket. And they even though they got sunglasses on, they still put that. Often they put the cream underneath their eyes like that to deflect that sunlight. And there's also where did I see it from recently? I can't remember who I heard it from, but somebody who I was listening to recently said that in the morning you should go get direct sunlight onto your face as early as you can in the morning, and don't look at the sun, but look towards the sun. Forward,
that's right. Yeah. Not look up, but look.
Yeah. Look forward, and what that does is it tells your brain to now wake up.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D, yes. So because the other thing is on sunny days, it's obviously dangerous, but even on overcast days,
it's even more dangerous.
Yeah, it's just a danger because you don't even realise it's happening.
Yeah.
It's a lot of us. When we see glare, we turn away. Okay, but if there's no glare, we're not turning away. So just think about that for the moment, and also snow as well. Sun reflects off of snow.
Off the snow light, yeah.
So
because
sometimes even worse.
And people, again, they don't think about this. When you go to school, you go to elementary school or primary school, you learn that black absorbs, white reflects.
That's right.
Yeah, but people don't think, and then they're on the snow and they're not wearing sunglasses or protective gear of any kind, and that snow is glaring off them. And there was something else. Oh yeah, also the overcast weather, those UV rays get trapped in the atmosphere. So as you say, you're not aware of it, but those UV rays are there bouncing. They're bouncing through in the atmosphere, up all over the place, because they're not able to get back up through the cloud cover sometimes.
Yeah.
And this is why we also get burned sometimes in cloudy weather.
Australia, in some ways, Australia is a good advertisement for eye health. I'm not saying they don't get things wrong, because they do, like everyone else. But you often see, they wear quality sunglasses. You need that UV protection outdoors. They also wear a lot of hats.
Well, the reason being is because Australia. Remember when we had the ozone layer problem?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Australia was one of the worst hit populous locations on the planet.
Yeah, that's right.
So even still today, they still have an issue with their ozone layer in Australia. So they've had to be very proactive in that regard, and they're the forerunners, and they set the example in terms of protecting themselves against the harmful rays of the sun. So yeah, that's the reason why.
So definitely take plenty of breaks in the shade. You don't spend all your time out in the sun, because your skin will pay you dearly for it as well. And obviously, you never stare directly at the sun, even with binoculars or in a solar eclipse.
All with sunglasses, even with sunglasses on, yeah. That's why solar eclipse, you have specialized glass or glassware screens that they use to view it.
So we need to protect against eye strain. Let's talk about, because we're not always on beaches and things like that, and protect against eye strain. Yeah, because we humans are the greatest danger. We pose the greatest danger to ourselves, and and we overwork our eyes, and that's probably one of the biggest things that we do on a day-to-day basis, and it can be short-term or long-term. That will give us eye problems. So probably the long-term is probably a little bit worse, because we deal with computers and things like that. So, but we have to learn to protect our eyesight as best that we can. We're not going to get it 100% right, and but I think if you're aware, then you'll think about it more and more.
Well, there's a small activity which I do regularly through the day, is because when I'm on the computer a lot, then I will consciously look outside the window, outside our window here, and I look at a distance for a while, and I look at the trees, I look at what's going on around me outside. So I'm taking that focus or the effort away from my short-sightedness, the muscles that are used for nearsighted vision, and then I give that a break, and then I just look at a distance, and I focus on looking at things from afar. So I'm using those muscles more, and then I'm giving the short-sighted muscles a rest, and then I go back a little bit again, and I go sit again in front of the computer or whatever I'm doing. And it's just a small little exercise like that. But you will notice people, if you're working in an office environment, you'll see some people, they just look down.
Head down,
hours, and they don't look anywhere around them.
Well, even when I was running a team of detectives and things like that, I said, right, come on, tea break. They went, well, when did you start? I said, no, you've been sitting there for nearly 2 hours. And so I used to make sure that people were away from the screens as well. I actually didn't do it for eye purposes. I actually did it for concentration purposes.
Okay.
You lose focus, and you get bored, and different things you want to go off and do different things. So, and I also sent people off. If they needed to go to the bank or things like that, I mean, go off to the bank then. Come back. Go and walk out. I was
listening to a neuroscientist. I'm in the process of studying some of the works of this neuroscientist, and he was talking about how we have the ability for maximum 90 minutes to absorb information at a time. Maximum 90 minutes.
That's the maximum. Minimum is
average is about 20 to 40 minutes max for the average person before they start to really. But for us to absorb information and be able to retain that information with focus, maximum 90 minutes. And I think you can. I mean, if you can train yourself to do that with some persistence,
I can now, but I remember when my attention was probably about 20 minutes, a max. That was for me. at one stage. I remember that was for a long time.
Mhm.
Now, because I do a lot of studying and things like that, and I'm studying to become a functional nutritional practitioner, so I'm nearly halfway there. I can actually literally listen, for 2 hours. So it has to be interesting, though.
Yes, of course.
It does depend on that. So if you're on computers, you've got to take regular breaks. Now, they suggest 15 minutes every 2 hours. I think that's too long. Personally, that's personal. I think that you should I do 45 minutes and have a 10-minute rest.
Yeah. And even if that 10-minute rest, all you do is you just close your eyes for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
That's actually, that's probably the best thing to do. Just close your eyes for 10 minutes.
The only challenge with that is tell someone beforehand, because when does the supervisor come along?
When you close your eyes for
when
10
you've got
minutes.
your eyes shut.
Yeah.
So tell them before. He said, I'm doing 45 minutes and I shut my eyes for 10 minutes or whatever it is because of eye strain. They won't argue with eye strain.
But
they'll get sued. They get sued, So tell them what you're doing. So very, very important. They suggest every 20 minutes looking around the room, as you said, looking out the window, changing your focus, gives your eyes a chance to, recover a little bit. So, and the other thing is make sure you have good lighting.
Yes.
Your eyes need sufficient light to read and write. Okay, and when you work on a computer or you're watching TV, even that. So
you don't. It's not really advisable to sit watching your screen on a computer or on a TV with no lights on. More so,
unless you're watching a horror movie. It's better effect.
But more so on your computer because you are closer to it. So you should have other light sources on.
Yeah.
I don't think just because your computer's glaring at you, you don't need to have light on. It's not.
Can't you see the glare on my head? Right.
Yeah, I can. The chrome on your dome.
The chrome on my dome, yeah. Plenty of that. So in low light and dark, your eyes have to work harder than usual, causing strain. So think about it. Change the lighting up. Don't keep it all the same, Keep changing. They say if you blink often enough, it refreshes and moistens your eyes. Yeah,
it does.
However, you shouldn't really say that to a detective or a police officer. I'll tell you the reason why. It's not personal. It's who you're talking to.
Yeah.
Because people who blink a lot are normally the liars.
Yeah, they're the nervous ones. They're trying to conceal something.
Yeah, and that's body language. Yeah, so it's not 100%. It's not 100% science, though.
It's not science, but trust me, it's pretty close to being
I used to concentrate. I used to concentrate. Look at the back of their neck.
The hairs.
Oh no! Just no, because if they're doing something wrong, this goes like that. You can see it. You can physically see it. So unless they're ultra confident, but won't show. But if they're nervous, it will show.
Yeah.
So anyway, back to eyes.
It's not necessarily confidence. It could be they just don't give a damn either.
Yeah. So getting the appropriate eyewear. That's between you and your professional. Okay, whether it's contact lenses or glasses, but always be under a professional. And go back and have regular eye tests. You should I think in theory, you're supposed to have an eye test. I don't know what it's like in South Africa, Hungary, or wherever else. We're supposed to have one every 6 months.
I don't know. I have no idea.
And you can stretch it out a bit. If your nutrition is superb, I think you can stretch it out a bit. But 6 months sounds like a good time, So maintenance, very, very, very good of your eyes can help by being in the right environment. Did you know that? As in the air quality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's probably about moisture and things like that. But
and also you've got free radicals in the air as well and things like that.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, and that's probably how you get dry eyes. Obviously, we don't know absolutely everything, and And one of the ways you can improve your eyesight is by having a humidifier if you need it. Depends where you are, of course. But maintaining a comfortable temperature is great for the eyes. Now, one of the ways you can do it is to get different plants. Classic one will be aloe vera. Spider plants, another good one. I do know the other. I'm going to get some more in my. I've got 9 aloe vera plants here.
Yeah, we've got quite a few of those as well.
But there are other ones as well. So just look them up, and have 2 or 3 of them in the room. They look good, and spider plant looks great. So I'm going to get. That's my next one.
What's a spider plant? Spider plant.
So anyway, be smart. Always visit a professional periodically. All right. So that way you take care of your eyes, and anything where it's starting to go down, maybe it's starting to degenerate a little bit. The professional will pick it up. Okay. And if they do if you're in the UK, they do a free eye test.
Oh.
But they offer you. It's marketing as well, but they do offer you a better eye test where they use more stuff, more technical stuff. Take it. Definitely. All right. So don't rely on free stuff. It's good up to a point. So just a few questions. Can you get 20/20 vision back naturally?
Good question, that. Can you?
I think it's always going to be an eternal question, that one. On the face of it, there is no one way to get 20/20 vision back by taking steps. You take steps to stay in control, basically. And seeing a professional is one of them. Nutrition is another one. And
nutrition is key.
Yeah, we're going to come to that. That will be the end of the right at the end, because it's that important. So again, using corrective eyewear and eating plenty of nutrients. I mean, that's it's a whole thing. It's not just one thing.
No.
Right? It's probably about 6 or 7 different things that you've got to pay attention to.
If I'm not mistaken as well, there is. I'm going to just check here, make sure. But breathing can also impact your eyesight as well.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's more. If you do it anyway, if you're into breathing exercises and making sure that you're doing deep breaths, then you do it without even thinking.
Mm-hmm.
And if you do meditation, that type of thing.
So deep breathing. So it's basically allowing more oxygen and blood flow into the capillaries. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you think about it, it's like if you train hard, if you exercise hard. I know sometimes if I do, you get the red blood cell. I can see those capillaries like flushed with blood in my eyes, and you don't want to be doing that too hard or too much, because then some of them can burst. But it definitely does improve the flow of oxygen to your eyes and to the brain, so it's good for that sense, I think.
Yeah, although I say it comes to the nutrients at the end. I mean, what I would say is, when I started paying attention to optimal nutrition, my eyesight improved. That's all I'll say, and that's the I think the best story you can give, but it's not going to happen overnight.
No, sure, because I mean, it's especially with something like your eyes, which are connected to your brain. That's something that is very sensitive. So when certain nerve cells start to deteriorate, when they become brittle, these kind of things, then yeah, in many cases, I guess that's irreversible. But also, if it is reversible, it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take time, because there's a lot of healing that would need to go on if that's damaged. That area is damaged. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's like one drop of bad. You need 20 drops of good, maybe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So can bad eyesight reverse?
Yeah, I believe it can, because I know of examples of it having reversed. People doing it naturally as well. I'm not talking about LASIK surgery or anything like that. I know of examples where people have been able to reverse their eyesight naturally. So,
Yeah, you can do. If it goes past a certain point, then obviously not. But generally speaking, yes, you can. Now, luckily, nearsightedness and farsightedness and astigmatisms can all be treated and corrected with eyeglasses, contact lenses, and in sometimes surgery. But again, that's something you need to speak to a professional, and they'll guide you on that. And you can get more than one opinion. All right. If you're talking about your eyes, it could be worth talking to 2 people rather than 1.
Yeah.
They come up with the same answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same. Like, you're going to take your car, and there's something wrong with your car. You don't want to just take it to one place. You're going to take it to 2 or 3 places to find out what the actual problem is.
Yeah, but that's also to do with money as well.
Well, sometimes
so you get the right quote,
yeah.
But yeah, I can see your point. I mean, would you, if you had a Jaguar motor car, would you take it to the little corner garage, or would you take it to a Jaguar dealer? Although the Jaguar dealers can be more expensive, at least they are used to dealing with Jaguars, and they have everything there for Jaguars.
Yeah, for Jaguars.
So it's something to think about. So you wouldn't necessarily go to a quack for your eyesight. Okay. You would go to an ophthalmologist or someone. Yeah, there's whatever it is in your country, wherever you listen to it. It's not, I don't want somebody in Turkey going to look up ophthalmologists and realise that they're not called.
They're using a different.
So, oh, hang on, what's going off?
There's your ophthalmologist.
Hang on,
Your ophthalmologist was listening.
Yeah, it's one of my customers. So I had to cut her off. I will be talking to her shortly. So, right, what I was going to say. Near vision. If your near vision is suddenly better than ever, chances are that your distance vision may be worse. So, whereas you can get your sight into a better state, be aware that it may not be. All right, so just be aware of that. Sometimes with second sight, when it occurs, what is really going on is that you're becoming a bit nearsighted. So, just pay attention to that. As I said before, don't take your eyes for granted. You shouldn't take anything for granted, really, but your eyes and your ears and things like that. I mean, you've really got to look after them.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's just think of the predicament you put yourself in if you have to live the rest of your life without them. Like we touched on the beginning, just walk around your house for 5-10 minutes with your eyes closed, or blindfolded. Better yet, blindfold yourself and walk around for 5-10 minutes and try to figure out where you're going and what you. Yeah.
There's some delicate things in your head, and one of them is your eyes. Another one is the old hairs and everything in your hearing. So, how do you do the best for you? And that would be to eat well. Okay, so. We talk about eating well all the time. We're not going to go into it in a big way, but what we are going to concentrate on are 4 things. Okay. One of them is obviously a good, healthy, balanced diet with variation. Don't eat the same thing all the time. Okay. Because you need different things from different plants and meats and whatever. Okay. Again, if you're a vegan, then you've got to pay a bit more attention to it, because you may not be getting some things that you can get in meat. There's lots of, but there's lots of variations, because we deal with, in our business, we deal with lots of vegans. Okay. Synergy is the other thing. When they talk about, you've got to go and have a vitamin B12 injection. I'm sure there's some people on here that would have been told by the doctor to do that. How about having all the B vitamins?
Yeah, why not?
They call it B complex. Why not? Why not have vitamin A, vitamin B complex, vitamin C, D, and E? You see what I'm getting at now? Synergy. You want foods, whole foods, that are going to give you all these things. We'll need to overlap to get everything, but that's very important. So a well-balanced diet. I'm not going to go into too deeply at all. The three I want to concentrate on, I'll concentrate on these two first. Now, the first one is lutein, right? Lutein. Now, lutein is a type of vitamin, and it's called a carotenoid. It's related to beta carotene and vitamin A.
Carrots.
All right. So don't forget your carrots, by the way. Right? I know they said you can see in the dark, but it's absolutely true if you look after the carrot and cook it properly. But
that's actually another great exercise for our eyes, is get used to looking for things in the dark.
Absolutely.
Being able to have good eyesight at nighttime is really good for your eyes.
A lot of people stay in the dark all their life. But so foods rich in lutein include egg yolks. I love eggs. Okay.
Yeah.
Broccoli. I love broccoli, but can't eat a lot of it because there's too much iron in it for me.
Okay.
Spinach, kale, corn, orange peppers, kiwi fruit, grapes. Okay. I love grapes. Orange juice. Make sure it's the real stuff. Right. Not too much with sugars, too added sugars.
Yeah, not the juices, the actual orange juice.
Zucchini.
Oh yeah.
Right, and squash. Right. Now, lutein. Funny enough, lutein, I don't know how you pronounce it, is best absorbed when it's taken with a high-fat meal. Right. Okay. It's a great vitamin for your eyes. So keep your eyes out for that. And if you can't find it,
no pun intended. Eh?
No, it really wasn't. It really wasn't. That's one. That's very, very important. Now, the next one is zeaxanthin. Again, it's another carotenoid that plays a role in protecting the eyes from the harmful effects of oxidation and light-induced damage. All right, and it's a yellow-coloured pigment. And you can find it, or you find it at the centre of the macula. It's found in high levels in dark green vegetables and colourful ones, fruits, orange and yellow fruits, and in the yolk of eggs yet again. All right, we're not going to go into these too deep. You can find these if you want to. All right. Now the third one, and to me the most important one of the lot, is omega-3 fatty acids. Now with that, I'm going to hand over to Warren, who's going to talk about that and talk about the benefits, obviously, with your eyesight.
With your eyesight, yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about what we refer to as our health protocol, which is a combination of 3 different nutritional supplements that all natural nutritional supplements that we use, that Paul and I use, and we also are involved from a business perspective too. For example, we have one product which is called Extend, and in the Extend product, its primary function is to boost the immune system and also to repair muscle and bone growth and repair. So for muscle and tissue growth and repair, all right? So by boosting the immune system, you making the body's automatically getting healthier in a sense overall. This is not just an isolated thing. So when I say isolated, I mean it doesn't just happen in one part of the body. This is all over the body. Plus, it also optimizes your metabolism. So if your metabolism is optimized, that means then that the functions in the body are working optimally in order for your body to be burning energy optimally, and that's your metabolism. And it also helps, the Extend also helps with muscle repair, muscle growth, and bone density. So that's not necessarily related directly to your eyes, the bones, but there's loads of muscles in our eyes, okay? And if the muscles are being taken care of through something like, a supplement, then that's going to help with your eyesight naturally, okay? So that's just that's one product. Then if we move on to something else which is part of our health protocol, which is the xenobiotic. Now, this is essentially working on our gut region, our biomes, our gut biomes. All right, and this is enhancing the health of our stomach. Now, this again is not directly related to the eyesight as such, but one part of the chain, there's a saying that the rope is only as strong as its weakest link or its weakest thread, and this is the same for our bodies, because our body is a system. It's an ecosystem. It's a chain of ecosystems that function within, and they need to work coherently, and the communication between each part of the body needs to be optimal in order for each part of the body to operate properly. Now, one thing that many of us will know is that type 2 diabetes, for example, is one of the main causes of people, one of the main symptoms of type 2 diabetes is people going blind or losing their eyesight. Okay. So with something like this, with the xenobiotic, that helps to look after the gut health and therefore helps to regulate our blood sugar levels, okay, and our digestive system. So, insulin levels are, you're going to get a reduce in insulin spikes and things like this. So many of us do struggle or do suffer from type 2 diabetes, but we're just not aware of it because we've never gone to the GP to ask them to test for diabetes. We experience a lot of sugar rushes and crashes and all of these kind of things. And people are therefore on the borderline of that, but they're not thinking of diabetes, right? So, because also many people think diabetes, you need insulin, you're born with it, you have to take it for your whole life. But more and more people are developing type 2 diabetes in their adulthood and even as young as teens and things like that, okay, through lack of nutrition and bad diet. Then the most important factor is, which Paul touched on before he led to me, is the balance oil or omega-3 oils. And more specifically, EPA and DHA. These are really key omega-3 oils for our health and our overall health. Okay, and it just really it contributes to optimal brain and heart function. Now, our eyes are directly linked to our brain, right? So it goes to show. I mean, it makes sense that you want to look after by looking after your brain, you're going to be looking inadvertently after your eyes as well. And the range of vitamins that you're covering in the Extend, the Balance Oil, and the Xenobiotic are enabling this to happen. And then on top of that, you've got the antioxidants, which are included in your Balance Oil through a premature grape. Olive. They extract the antioxidant from that, and they infuse that naturally into the Balance Oil. And antioxidants are a great tool for revitalizing and keeping the system fresh and stopping it from rusting from within. And then with the oil itself, it reduces the inflammation in the body. So that's this chronic inflammation I'm talking about, not the inflammation that we get when we bump ourselves and we get a bruise or a cut or a break in an arm. That's acute inflammation. I'm talking about the long-term inflammation that's in our system that causes so much damage to our bodies, short-term and long-term. So the oil itself reduces that chronic inflammation. The antioxidant in that helps to prevent the body from rusting from within. And then you factor that in with the Extend and the Xenobiotic, and it all couples together so nicely. And all of these factors really help in aiding not just revitalizing our eyesight, but so much more as well. But eyesight is obviously important, right, as we touched on before. So that's why I wanted to touch on the health protocol for today for you folks out there listening and watching, because it's really something that Paul and I strongly recommend that anybody at least look into the information relating to that and have a look in it for yourself and get an educated or an informed, be able to make an informed choice for yourself rather than discounting nutrition as a means of being able to improve and safeguard your eyesight. Okay.
Fantastic. Just a couple of things to add about the omega-3. Omega-3s. They've been shown to reduce the risk of certain eye diseases, including dry eyes and macular degeneration. Plus, they're proven to be vital to brain and eye development during both pregnancy and infancy, so they're great. It's great for children as well.
Yeah.
And if you're looking to, I can't think of the, yeah, if you're thinking to do in vitro and things like that prior to getting pregnant, then the omega-3s are brilliant for that as well. Okay, and they could well increase your possibility of falling pregnant. So,
well, science has actually proven that omega-3 will or EPA, and that will help people ladies to fall pregnant, or even men to be able to, what's the word I'm looking for? Seed, to have healthy sperm and things like that.
yeah, so absolutely, yeah.
The science has proven this now. That the difference is that with what we propagate, or what we marketed, is that it's the quality of that omega-3, the quality of that EPA and DHA. It's just also so it's imperative that you have the right quality, because if you don't have the right quality, that oil is not going to do anything for you. Right? That oil is just going to pass through your system. The vast majority of that oil will just literally pass through your system without doing having any benefit to your body. So it's also the quality and what is the constituents of that oil that you're taking.
That's right. I mean, the big thing with omega-3, I mean, there's lots of omega-3 products out there, and
biggest selling nutritional supplement in the world.
Yeah, yeah. But the difference is this, all right? You've got to make sure that you have the marine algae in the product. Mm-hmm. It has to be taken from somewhere that is away from all the pollution. Okay,
the farming,
there's lots of pollution in the water. All right, so that's one thing. The other thing is, and bear in mind that 97% of the world is out of balance when it comes to omega-6 and omega-3. And this is the big thing.
That's proven.
Yeah, and the big thing is that we're talking about the health of each individual cell. That is the thing that decides whether you're healthy or not. Mm-hmm. You can get down to the cellular level. Mm-hmm. And that's and it goes with the same with beauty products. Mm-hmm. Ladies, I understand when you spend billions on beauty products, okay, but beauty is only skin deep, and the reason they say that is not only because of how it looks. It only goes down, normally speaking, it only goes down 2 layers of skin. Omega-3 fatty acids do all 7 layers of skin,
because it works from the inside out.
That's right. Now, there are different qualities of omega-3 fatty acids as well. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, most of them will only last about 10 hours in the body before they start to go rancid. Now, the magic of our patented product is it will last over 30 hours, okay, allowing it to get down to your toes and everything else. And the way they do that, they protect it by using polyphenols. Polyphenols from pick your olives, which are pre-harvested. All right, and that's what they use to protect it on its way down and chaperone it. Okay, that's why it's so effective. All right, so that's enough I want to say about omega-3s.
The polyphenol, just for the layman, is the antioxidant I was talking about. That's the product that prevents our bodies from rusting in the inside, and it helps to safeguard the oil, as Paul mentioned.
The two products the two carotenoids I spoke about earlier, lutein and zeaxanthin, are both in the first product that Warren spoke about in the Extend. Mm-hmm. Okay, so in other words, the whole thing about health protocol is you don't have to go hunting for anything else. It's all in the health protocol. All right, that's the reason we've done loads of research and everything, and there is nothing else out there. There is nothing else out there that can compare to what we do, and we can prove it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? So someone's sitting here and spouting off and talking about saying we can prove it.
We have the science
with a test. Okay, so a blood test.
That's independent, by the way. That's got nothing to do with us.
Oh yeah.
In terms of the science,
otherwise it'd be biased, wouldn't it? So
yeah, of course. Yeah.
So yeah. Yeah. So with that, look at your general health. You know, whether you use us or not, I mean, it's entirely a matter for you. But if you want to find out a little bit more, we're quite happy to give you some links to look at, and then it's your decision as to what you want to do. But for for your sake, please let's go back to the original thing. Is it possible to improve your eyes naturally? Absolutely, absolutely. But you're going to have to work on it a little bit. So with that, we're done. Anything else you want to say, Warren?
No, thank you. I think we're done.
Okay.
I'd like to finish before 1 hour.
Yeah, I mean, the eyes are that important that you have to spend a little bit of time on it. You know, it's not something you can do really quickly.
Yeah, it's a very intricate thing because there's so many factors that are directly and indirectly linked to the health of our eyes. So yeah, that's why you should go and look at it yourself. Go do your research and your due diligence and find out for yourself.
Yeah.
And then go have your eyes tested if you feel that you need to. If there's something that you feel might be a bit off balance with your eyes, go have them tested.
Superb. Great. Well, have a fantastic day, everyone. Thanks for coming. If you've got any questions, stick them in the Facebook Live on Facebook, as I say. And we'll speak to you soon.
Arrivederci.
Have a great day.
Reminder to your week. Bye-bye.